Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us as we go through the dark recesses of our hotel experience. See you checking in. Welcome back to Local Love, real life scary tales. Thank you guys for checking in with us here at the Haunted Hotel. We're on part D of the Haunted Hotel, or part 6 of our true life scary tales. Guys, if you have any tales of your own, let us know. We'll leave that information at the end for you and in the comments below. Alrighty guys, so as you've already probably followed us through this adventure, we've had quite a few experiences at our local hotel near the UCF area. Again, I don't want to say the name, but nothing too menacing, nothing too scary so far. Alright, so one thing that did happen to us probably about 2.5-3 months ago. Yeah, that soon. We basically were visiting the hotel, our typical thing, and my boyfriend and I went outside to go by the pool area, as we do frequently. It was nighttime, probably about midnight or 11 o'clock, somewhere in there, between that hour. And we happened to be staying on the first floor. And our window does face out to the pool area. So we were literally sitting at a table just outside of the pool area, right outside our window. We were at the little patio. So when we left the room, the light was on. And while we were sitting there, we could see that it was on. As we did our usual thing, have a conversation with whatever was interacting with us outside, which was frequently the lights would blink, that type of thing. And we still have some more evidence to go through on if anybody's ever answered any of us on EVPs, but I will let you know if there's any updates. So as we're sitting out there chatting, talking, experiencing things, I noticed that the light in our room went off. Now, immediately my first thought was, oh, the light bulb probably, blew. Or perhaps the TV was on and it went to a darker thing on the screen that made it look darker in the room. So when I suggested that to my boyfriend, he goes, Amanda, when I left the room, I turned off the TV. I was like, okay, so it's not the TV. So it still could be a blown light bulb. At any rate, we have an arrangement with our spiritual friends, as I'd like to think anyway. So far, they've pretty much kept up on their end. We've always asked that, they can talk to us as long as they can hang out with us as long as they want while we're in that area, but to please remember to respectfully not follow us back to our rooms. Seems they'd found a loophole. Technically, we weren't in our room, so I did say, I get it, I understand, but I'd like to ask that while we're staying here, that you please not be in our room. And I got very upset and very insistent that if our light wasn't back on when we got in there and they weren't out of the room, we wouldn't be coming out back to visit with them any longer. I get a little upset about these things when I feel like our privacy's been invaded a bit. So as we go back in, and the light is still off when we left from outside, my boyfriend stood in the hallway between, the door and the front desk, so there was nobody coming out. And I went to the front desk just to double check that perhaps they didn't send anybody from maintenance in there, or that perhaps there wasn't a power outage while we were outside and we just didn't notice. And of course, the front desk clerk thinks I'm insane. And he said, no. I was like, he's like, why do you ask? I said, well, it looks like our light might have gone out when we were outside. We saw it, but we'll double check. And if we need anything, we'll call up to the desk. And he's like, okay. So at this point, I go back to the room. We open the door. The light is back on. Yeah. So you can take that as you will, but it wigged us out just a tiny little bit. But it also let me know that they are listening, at least, and perhaps they were like, oops, my bad. I don't know. But yeah, that's an experience. So we've had lots of different experiences. I'm kind of just going through the ones that made any kind of big impact. We've done several, spirit box sessions and things like that out there. And, not everything was a big deal. But let's flash forward to just a few nights ago. I was at the hotel with my boyfriend. It was I believe it was a Saturday night. We were just staying one night because he came into town to go to a petrified forest with me. And as we got ready, we got up, we were already went, came back. We were winding down. It was a lot of walking and very hot outside that night. So I got cleaned up. He got cleaned up. We're getting wound down to go and get ready to go to bed because I've got to work tomorrow and he's got to drive back to Tampa. So he's already laying there pretty much ready. I join him. We're laying there chilling, talking, and then he just kind of falls right out to sleep. He is so tired. And I take a little longer to go to sleep, so I'm laying there in the fairly dark room. We still had a couple little lights on in the room from the bathroom and such. And I hear a rattle, rattle, rattle. Rattle, rattle, rattle. Kind of like somebody trying to access the room with the door handle. So at first I was like, I didn't think much. And then I heard it loud, rattle, rattle, rattle. Somebody's shaking the door handle. Well, I assume it's a guest, and maybe they picked the wrong room. So I kind of shoved my boyfriend. I'm like, wake up. Somebody is trying to get in the room. So he gets up. He goes and checks the door. He heard it too right before he went up over there, and it got louder. So he went over there, peeked out the door, walked down the hall a bit to make sure that nobody had just run off, perhaps, after doing that. Now, mind you, this is like 2 a.m. So he comes back in. He puts the chain on the door. He's like, there, crisis averted. I put the chain on. I'm like, oh, I love you, but yeah. That doesn't really stop it from happening. So I made my general announcement, as I typically do, and just say that if I know we haven't been here in a long while because it's been several months. I know you guys like to spend time with us, and we didn't go in the back to visit you because it's a short visit. And I'm sorry, but we still ask that you please respectfully not disturb us while we're in our room. Thank you. And so it died off for a few minutes, and he went back to bed. And I'm trying to settle into bed. And I just keep hearing it. Rattle, rattle, rattle. Every couple minutes, rattle, rattle, rattle. Rattle, rattle, rattle. Rattle, rattle, rattle. Rattle, rattle, rattle. Just like somebody shaking the door handle, like straight up. And just nobody's there. So at this point, I just kind of spend the rest of my night kind of staring at the walls going, I don't want to really be here now. Because it seems like they're not happy. And why would they need to get in our room? Perhaps they're just trying to be playful. I don't know. It's not like they have a full-on conversation with us very often, so it's hard to say. So, yeah. I don't know. How would you guys react if that happened to you when you were in a hotel room? Many of my friends have said, get out. Get your stuff and leave. But seriously, we really haven't had a lot of negative experiences. That wasn't the most pleasant experience, but nothing punched us, poked us, or hurt us. We didn't have any kind of big negative thing other than it just kind of kept me off kilter because I, was trying to go to sleep. But other than that, Jeff slept just fine. And, well, there you go. So guys, that's going to wrap it up. We're the most up-to-date we've been on the haunted hotel. I'm sure I'll have some other stories for you, but that's where we're going to leave it for today. If any of you have your own true life scary tales, please email us at locallovenow@yahoo.com, or you can inbox us on Facebook on our Orlando Hipsters Local Love page. So guys, thank you so much for all the support. It really does mean everything to us. We appreciate it. If you could be so kind as to share this with your other friends, let everybody know what we're up to, and we can get some local love spread all around the town for everybody. I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween week, and thank you so much for tuning in. Peace.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and share with all your friends.
And hit that bell so you know when we have a new video.